Food safety is a very important subject in our family awareness talk show. How we preserve our foods, what kind of foods we can put in the fridge for a long time, for a short time, and when we get the food and put on our table. All these questions in our heads about food safety will be answered by ISO auditor, microbiology and food safety expert, Ms. Nour Harkous. Ms. Nour Harkous, welcome in talk show
Thank
of
you.
Family Awareness.
Hello.
You are welcome. You know, at the young age, you are expert in all these things. Please, can you tell us first about yourself? What do you do? What do you manage?
Hello, Mr. Michael. Thank you
You're
for receiving me. Well, I have many licenses in ISO. One of it is ISO 22000, lead auditor in ISO, and it's a specialty in food safety, and especially at factories.
Mm-hmm.
So at factories, food safety is more detailed, it's more complex, it's a system, not only few processes that we follow at kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
So we also manage, in ISO 22000, there is also ISO 9001, and it's about management more than factory and operational processes. So we also manage companies to follow a homogeneous and a clean, a well-organized and analytical system at administrations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a system all related, whether it's a factory, a restaurant, just a company. So we organize companies and we build their system, we build their management, we build other departments like the food safety department. We also manage other departments like accounting and finance. But we are more specified, and our work is more specified at food safety.
Mm-hmm.
Today I would like to highlight a few ideas about dried food and expiry dates.
Okay, I want to ask you, dried foods, you mean dried foods like dried meat? Some people dry the meat and they
Yes.
preserve for a long time,
Yes.
while vegetarians like to dry the vegetables and the fruits.
Yes. No, we prefer to dry fruits and vegetables to meat and chicken, because when you dry the meat and the chicken, the texture and the taste will be different, and if you don't know how to dry it, it will taste you can't chew
eat it.
Yes, you won't be able to eat
Yes.
it. Whereas fruits can still be eaten, and you can still enjoy dried fruit, and it's fully safe.
Yes, some people in the market, they sell you dried apricot, for instance,
Yes.
or dried berries. So
Mm.
different kinds of berries you can
Mm.
buy dried, or
Mm.
even pineapple, or many
Yes.
fruits. But some people would advise you not to buy from this certain shop because they add too much sugar
Okay.
to the fruits.
Mm.
Is it true, or what is the true and proper process
Mm.
when we want to dry these fruits or preserve them?
Sugar has nothing to do when you want to dry or preserve the food. When food dehydration or food dryness, these are two processes that do not include sugar intake.
Mm-hmm.
So when you dry the food, you can put it under the sun. It can be a very simple process. Or you can use nitrogen in order to take off the oxygen in it, and you can add oxygen absorber. So you can take off the oxygen in the food and dry it to a certain percentage, from 0.03 to 0.7.
How this process is made?
So this process can be made through different methods. You can put it right under the sun. If for women who work, who cook at home or prepare food at home, or if you have a factory and you want to preserve the shelf life for longer periods, you can use specialized equipment for drying food, including balancing the humidity and the oxygen and the fruits or other elements.
Okay, you know, some people dry the fish.
Yes.
And they preserve them, or dry red meat. So you said if you or chicken, if you dry meat, it will not be good to your health, and even you cannot chew it.
You cannot chew it. Yes.
So can we dry fish?
Fish is under the category of meat and chicken.
The same thing.
So it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas fruits have more liquidity, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So fruits have more sugar, fructose.
Yes.
So this fructose can even keep the fruits delicious even if you dry it.
Okay. What are the risks?
Yes.
If I don't know how to preserve the fruits and then later eat them?
Well, there are many risks in food safety. If food safety processes are not followed well, from heating to preserving to choosing the right packages to adding safe nutrients and to adding good percentages. As you said, when we add more sugar, this can affect our health. Not only it will affect the safety of the food we're eating. So it's a long process and it's complex. When you don't use the right method of drying food, or if you add more nutrients than it is required, or if you put it in wrong packages, or if you dry it at not safe or dirty surfaces or environment, of course, this can lead to huge risks.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You know, some people who are vegetarian usually like to have their, like you, like to have their breakfast as fruits and nuts.
Yes.
Especially walnuts, almonds, and
highly recommended.
It's highly recommended. How can we preserve walnuts? Because, you know, when we close it and keep it in the fridge or keep it outside the fridge in a very improper way, the walnuts will not be good to eat. How can we preserve these foods?
It will deteriorate because of the oxygen. So when you want to dry food, or when you're looking to have longer shelf life of food, you have to look into more than 4 factors, which are the heat, the humidity, the package you are using, if it's clean, if it doesn't include bacteria, if it's free from insects and rodents.
Wow.
So the light, the heat, the oxygen, the humidity also. You have to look into all these factors.
So how can we, you know, I'm concerned more about walnuts.
For example, walnuts, you have to, first walnuts should be clean. You should know from where you are buying it, if it doesn't include additives and preservatives, if it's free from bacteria and from insects and rodents, and then you can add it into a safe package. And it is more recommended to add walnuts into a stainless steel or into an oxygen, into a plastic package, in order to preserve the percentage of oxygen in the package.
Without allowing the
air to get inside.
Okay.
Whereas if you put it in plastic bags or sacks, it can deteriorate the bags, because bags are not rigid as other packages like stainless steel, and this can cause air inflow and outflow.
Okay. Should we put it inside the fridge or outside the fridge?
Well, there's a huge list as per FDA that we will show, and it includes all the food from grain, beans, fruits, vegetables, and other categories. They include if they can be put outside of the fridge, or if it can be refrigerated or freezed.
Mm-hmm.
And we also recommend, in order to have longer shelf life of dried food or of grains and beans, to add oxygen absorber. The oxygen absorber is also like a pump.
Mm-hmm.
You can add it to the top of the package, and it's also used for soda, to preserve
Wow.
the acidity of the Pepsi or 7-Up. or
Okay, so when we preserve the food
Yes.
for a time in the fridge, whether frozen or just put in the fridge,
Yes.
are there differences to preserve the vitamins and the protein?
Of course, when you put, for example, the chicken in the fridge, you are not only preserving the nutrients in it, but you're also preserving the percentage of bacteria in it. Because when you cool the product, the bacteria will be stopped, will be like freezed. It won't increase or decrease or change. But when you cook, for example, the product, you will eliminate the percentage of bacteria in it. So it's highly recommended to refrigerate food or freeze the food in order to have longer shelf life.
And then we'll see on the table.
But not all the fruits. For example, bananas cannot be refrigerated or freezed because it will lose the ethylene in it. The ethylene is a hormone that gives the fruit the good texture
So
and
it's
taste.
wrong to freeze the banana.
Yes.
There's a very important question I want to ask you.
Yes.
When we send the fruits with our children to school, because as it says, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yes.
So we always encourage our children to take an apple with them
Of course.
to the school. Okay, sometimes they put an apple, a pear, or banana also.
Yes.
I want to ask you if you tell us, please, how we can preserve this food and if we can share it with our friends, touching the fruit from hand to hand.
Not at all.
Yeah, tell us the process, please.
Okay, so as a mother or father who's caring about their kids' health, and they would like to add fructose to their health, because kids need sugar intake to fuel their body, and because they move a lot more than us.
Yes.
So they have to be worried, especially nowadays, of how they are preserving the food and which package are they using to give it to their children to school. We recommend for apples to be well washed before they give it to their kids, to be put it into nylon bags or plastic bags or Tupperware. Tupperware is more recommended.
Plastic one?
Yes. To put it inside of it, and to be well washed, well dried, and in it. And we don't recommend that they cut the apples before they give it to their kids, because if they cut it, it will lose its taste.
Yes.
And the same thing goes for bananas, pears, and others.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So you don't recommend the parents to send with their children like a meat sandwich or chicken sandwich. Would you recommend that?
Not really, especially if their kids like mayonnaise and sauces that should be kept at a specific temperature.
What are the risks?
The risks are, for example, chicken. If they, let's take an example to make things simpler.
Yes.
If I make a chicken sandwich, I will have to put some sauces on it and ingredients and other stuff. So the risk of contamination will increase.
Yes.
First of all. Second, even if the sandwich is well packed into cling film, or even if it's put in a Tupperware, the oxygen will enter the bread and it will change its taste, because you have to remember that kids are not going for 1 to 2 hours to school. They are going for the whole day.
Yeah, especially in Lebanon, they spend from like 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon.
Exactly. So the taste of the sandwich will change. the texture will change because there's water and the bread, and the water will stick to the chicken and it will change the taste. Third, the safety, the food safety. Chicken cannot be put for more than 2 to 3 hours out of the fridge. So we highly recommend that if kids want to eat chicken, to wait for after school, or to eat it at school, at cafeterias at school, because chicken, it's better to be not put out of the fridge, especially if like kids at their break times open the Tupperware under the sun, because they don't know that the food should be put at dry places. So there is a huge risk.
Okay, we grow up with these words like sharing is caring.
Yes.
And when you share something, it's so nice to share it with your friends. Like sharing is fun. So
of course.
Some of your friends will come to you like, say, sharing is fun. So they want to take a portion of your foods or a piece of chocolate. So how much this is wrong, especially at the time of COVID-19? Yes. At
the time of COVID-19, so many traditions and things we love to do should be stopped. Like sharing. I know like kids like to share things and to share food, to share games, to share toys. We have to be careful that Corona or COVID-19 is stuck on surfaces for more than 1 hour, and kids move a lot, so they have to be careful, and they have to take other, we have to raise awareness to our kids. We have to raise awareness. We have to tell them that now there's a huge risk if you sneeze in front of your friends, or if you touch your face, or if you touch your eyes. If you touch your face, then you touch your food or your food packages, then you share it to your friend, then your friend will touch it and then touch his or her face. So there will be contamination, not only for COVID-19, but also for other bacteria.
Yes, you're totally right. During these times, so there's also awareness not to visit too much or sit too close to each other. So what are the risks that are found with these days, not only for like COVID-19 and the other bacteria,
of course.
These days especially? What are the risks that we may face during sharing like a cake or gifts or I don't know?
There are many risks that can lead to food poisoning, food sickness, allergies, and other risks we don't want to have. For example, if we are two close families under the COVID-19 circumstances and we decided to visit each other, and as a woman, I went to the drugstore or to the supermarket and I bought a chicken that is not food safe, or that it has deteriorate, or that had a shelf life and they changed the shelf life and added the expiry dates. If I buy it and I cook it and I share it with other families, there will be food contamination and there will be also poisoning. So we have to be worried, about the food we are eating nowadays, of the shelf life, of the expiry date. We have to buy chicken from trusted sources, or chicken or meat or other food from trusted sources. Each product we should check each product before we buy it. The expiry date, the temperature, we should preserve it, and the package we are using. And if we open it, the shelf life will be changed
Yes.
also. So we have to look into all these steps, and we have to follow a cleaning program, whether at home, whether if families are coming, if close relatives are coming, we have to follow food safety. I'm not gonna say social distancing because it won't be happening, but we can still follow food safety standards, like cleaning, preserving of food, choosing the right and trusted food.
Yes, amazing information, really.
Thank you.
I have highly benefited from this information because, you know, I care more to eat fruits and
We're at
vegetables.
risk.
Yes, we are at risk,
Of
especially these days.
COVID-19.
Yes. What is the last thing you like to tell to our viewers regarding awareness of food safety?
I would like to say something that is not so related to food safety, but more of COVID-19. Please wear your masks and don't put your hands on your face. Try to not put it, and wash your hands. Wash your hands, whether there is COVID-19 or not. Every time you come from supermarket, work, every time, whenever you get at home, wash your hands.
Stop sharing your food. Stop sharing your food at this
If
time.
it's clean and food
If
safe,
it's clean,
you can share it.
Thank you for watching us. You know, we are what we eat, so keep your food safe and stay aware of what you eat and how you preserve your food. Thank you so much.